Hi there, this is Sheena Rowlands and today I'm sharing with you my latest layout for Bramble Fox. And for this layout I'm using the Music Fans set and I'm also using the Sunburst XL Fox stencil. So these are some of the bits in the music set and I'm going to be using the #1 fan, a guitar and a few of the music notes as well. So I'm a huge fan of Harry Styles. It's something we'll come back to later on in the video, but I've got 3 photographs here that I took at one of his concerts last year when he came to Coventry, which I really enjoyed. So I'm going to use all 3. They're taken off the screen, so they're a bit blurry, so I didn't want to print them too big. So I think they're about 4 by 3. And I'm going to make an embellishment cluster either side, one with the title and the other side I'm going to use the guitar. So that's the plan. So I'm using 49 and Market collection for this layout. It's a bit of a mix of different collections that I've got. The background paper that I'm using there is from Spectrum Sherbet. It's called the Solids Lemon. On the B side, or the other side to what I'm using, it's completely yellow, but I preferred this grungier side. So I'm going to use that as the base. So I'm just building up some layers behind the photographs using pre-made ephemera from the collections. Also other bits and pieces that I've got left. I want to bring in some browns and some oranges and some blacks using Harry's outfit as the inspiration. You can't actually see too much in the photos how glittery it was, but it really was. So, and you just saw me there flashing a stencil, which I definitely want to add to the background. So before I do that, I'm going to need to start to think about sticking some of this together so that I don't lift it up and lose it. So I'm just going to start to tuck some bits and pieces in using a bit of double-sided tape so that when I come to do the mixed media, I can lift it up and put it down, make sure that I'm not covering everything over. So just picking that up. So it's going to be one big cluster by the time I've finished. And I'm just distressing some of the edges as well, just to go with that distressed feel. There's a couple of, there's a bingo card and a couple of labels, and I'm cutting them up to add both ends to make it a nice long background to take all 3 photographs. And there's a pale piece there. I think that's from Nature Study. So I'm really mixing the 49 and Market collections, but it's just because I wanted the certain colours. On the left there, you'll find that I've cut a View Master Reel from one of the die sets. I cut 1, I think, and then I actually cut 3, all in an orange, that I'm going to use to base my clusters. And there was also a film strip that's number 14 in the dies that was already cut from a previous layout from 49 and Market paper, and I think that's going to be an excellent place to put my title. So I'm just looking at where those viewfinders are going to go. I want the 3, but I don't want them. I want them to form like a visual triangle, which is, as we know in scrapbooking, is always a good way to get your eye to move around the layout. So I'm just making sure the clusters are going to work and just adding those viewfinders in. And I think I'm really happy with the way things are looking. So with a couple of tweaks, I then need to move on to the next stage. So this, as I said, is the Starburst XL. It's the A4 stencil. It's number 18. And I'm going to add a bit of a burst above and below this cluster. So I've got the stencil there. I've got a bit of washi tape. I'm just going to stick the stencil down to my worktop. So it means that I can actually hinge it on the right there, and I can lift it up. There I go. And down, just so I can see where the ink is going. I don't want the ink to be too definite. So I'm coming with a brush. I just want it to be like literally radiating out from underneath the photo. So I'm not trying to fill the stencil completely. I'm also dabbing off the ink on a piece of scrap paper there each time. I'm going to just extend a couple of those, I don't know what you call them, bits out on the left there. A word will come to me shortly. And then I'm going to actually put the stencil at the bottom and do the same again, tape it down. Just want to make sure that I can still see the stenciling, but I just don't want it to be over the whole layout. I just want it to look like it's coming out. So it's even finer at the bottom a little bit there. Yeah, I think that's looking quite good. I think I'm using Rusty Hinge. It's a Distress Oxide. And as I say, by dabbing it off, it's giving me a much softer look that I like. So when I bring that collection back in, I can see if any of the do you know, rays, how about that for a word? If any of the rays need to be any longer, honestly, my brain. So there's just a couple there, maybe on the left, that I want to extend a little bit more. So I just bring the stencil back in. I'm lining it up on the edge of the paper there. So I'm quite comfortable now with the way that they look. And there's just a couple there. This is going to go underneath the title. I'm not sure you do actually see them in the end, but I just want to be sure because I want to do all the mixed media at the same point. So these are some stamps. These are by Bramble Fox. They're not in the store at the moment, but you may have them already in your collection. And I'm just going to add these, and they're little ovals rather than circles. And I'm just going to add those around before I stick something down. I'm using a black distress ink again, and I'm just doing the first dab on paper so that I'm only getting fine, faint circles. There's also a distress feel to this piece of paper anyway, so it's just adding another layer. If you didn't know, if you hadn't watched me stamp it, you probably didn't even know that they were there. But I just thought it just added in, and it wouldn't do it any harm. And so I'm then going to add a few black splatters as well. I've got some kitchen roll to hand there on the right, and I'm going to keep coming in because this paper is not for taking water, and it does change shape a little bit with me adding some splatters. So I don't want it to soak up too much of that. So I bring the photos back in, and I know that I need to get some more splatters there on the top left, and then I tidy up. So I'm going to stick my cluster down. I'm really pleased with how that's come together. It fits really well there. I'm going to just make sure those layers have gone back in. I'm going to add my title now on the film strip that was die cut from die cut 14, and then I'm going to add the title on top, and I'm going to add that, I think, on some foam shortly. Guitar is definitely going there on the right, also with a couple of other little bits. There's an embellishment from 49 Market that says special, and I've got a camera there as well that's I've cut out of one of the packaging pieces. I'm going to add that. I was quite pleased that one of the photos I found of Harry, he's actually playing the guitar at the concert. So I think that works really well, and I'm going to add some music notes above on the other Viewmaster wheel as well. So also I'm going to add some stars because he is a star. It absolutely is a star. I've seen him twice live. I think he's such a showman. I think he appeals to lots of age groups. He writes really catchy, easy to remember songs that are nice, feel-good stuff. And I can see why he appeals. And he's never, when I've seen him live, he's never let us down. And just a nice atmosphere in the audience. And you've got kids and parents and older people and feathers and lots of colour, and it's just really nice feel good factor, which I think we all need a bit of that, don't we? So yeah, I'm a Harry Styles fan, and I'm happy to put my hand up to that. So I'm just working around with some glue dots there, adding some stars and the music notes in. Just making sure that the black goes all the way around. I find a little bit of a die cut, and I decide that I might use it, but then I decide I'm going to actually use the office borders, and I cut a couple of pieces in a dark brown from another piece of 49 Market, and I'm going to add that in a couple of places just with a little bit of wet glue, because hey, it really needs another layer, doesn't it? But actually, I'm quite happy with the way that that is going. So this music fans collection is new in store. There's also some Taylor Swifty bits as well, if that's what you're into. So do check it all out at bramblefox.co.uk. So I've cleared the decks now, and I'm just looking at any other little bits. I found some little yellow stars from Bramble Fox. I'm going to add a couple of those as well to bring a bit more yellow back in. So do check out our videos at YouTube, and also have a look on Instagram and Bramble Fox Friends, and you'll see lots of inspiration of how to use the new products and the Fox boxes. So do check us out there. Any questions you've got, just add it in the comments below, and I'll come back and do my best to answer them. Just to add to the star quality that is Harry, I'm just bringing in a few little gold star sequins, and I've finally invested in one of those little things to lift them up, so I'm quite pleased with that. Here's the finished layout. I'll give you some close-ups too, and thank you so much for watching. and we hope to see you here again real soon. This is Sheena saying bye for now.